VCs are investing their money, their hard-earned money. So we really wanted to, value add to that particular investment that is actually coming in. So the conviction that we gained by talking to multiple customers on what the problem is, that actually gave us the confidence, to develop a solution for the problem. So that is what motivated us. If you have a very truthful cause for which you are working on, your actions become very truthful.
If we are genuine in our whole thought process or more of the treatment, right? Treatment to the colleagues, I think that is sufficient. That's where we're going to hold the whole energy or culture together.
So, welcome Abhilash and Preetham on the Climapreneur Show. I'm so excited to have you here. And today we are gonna really talk about something amazing that you have been building. And also, like Abhilash, I would like you to share some of the quotations that you shared with me when we first connected. Those were from Gita. And also, I have to say that when you recommended me to actually listen to Gita, like the links that you shared with me, I have been listening that, and it has had a transformational effect on me. So thank you for doing that for me, and I'll definitely share the links in the description for our audience to listen. But having said that, once again, welcome guys on the Climapreneur Show.
Thanks for quoting that. The quote which I had mentioned you has given you a positive impact, and I'm really feeling happy that I'm able to have a positive impact on somebody, just like how we are trying to do with Exter. Yeah.
So, chalo Abhilash, let's start with your quotation. Like, give me that the lines that you told me the other day when we connected.
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
Definitely, I'm more than happy and privileged to share that line, which has really impacted our mission and vision statement. We are motivated by the Karma Yoga, the Sloka 9, which says that Yagnartha Karmano Yatra Lokoyam Karma Bandhana Tadartham Karma Kaunteya Mukta Sangha Samachara. Which means that, when you start taking an action which can actually, impact the society becomes a better place for everybody. So you as a citizen and you as an individual, when you start doing that action is called as a yagna. So start doing whatever you do just like a yagna, so the world becomes a better place for everybody to live. So that is what we are doing with Exter, wherein we are trying to reduce pollution and heal earth. So Exter is actually a word that is coined by combining the first two letters of exit pollution and the last three letters of TER, enter healing earth. So that is how Exter is coined. So we are just trying to heal earth, doing our bit, just like what ant can lift. We are just trying to do that. So let's see how the impact is going to become.
It's a small step, but we are sure that it's going to impact a lot.
Definitely. So, Preetham, tell us that what are you building at Exter? What is Exter actually?
So, Exter is a whole EV ecosystem, right? So, what we are empowering the whole EV ecosystem. So, our more goal is to push the EV adoption, where we have a marketplace where customers can buy electrical scooters without batteries, and they can opt for our battery subscriptions. By this, we assume that this is going to offset or more of the onboarding cost of the price would be low there, or upfront investment would be low, and then we have our swapping sessions put across, or we are setting up those battery swapping sessions, by which our customer would not have to worry about the range anxiety. I think the whole range anxiety what we have, I think that will be reduced with this. That's what we have. I think anything if I missed.
So in a nutshell, we are moreover like a motivation company that is actually motivating you to choose electric mobility over choosing a petrol and a polluting gas guzzler. So, moreover, rather than calling ourselves as a company that is, promoting electric two-wheelers, we are moreover like a motivation company. With Exter, we are motivating you to choose electric mobility, which is a zero tailpipe, emission means of mobility. That is what we are doing.
Like, what motivated you to work here? Like, what problem statement did you see here, and why did you feel that what you are creating with Exter is something that's going to be revolutionary, something that's going to have a positive impact?
Yeah, that's a very interesting story to share with. I will just reiterate back on how me and Preetham we had met first. So there.
Okay.
It is a very short story, but with a long years of
We had a hint of our destiny.
so things like way back in during once we are done with our engineering, way back in 2008 that time, you are destined to become, whether you do mechanical engineering or civil engineering, you are destined to become a software engineer. So as a destiny, I came to an organization where we learned Java. And Preetham was working there as a developer. He was also out of college, and he was working there he was from a computer science background, and I am from a mechanical engineering background. The first it is very funny, and it is it is something that we would love to share. The first time I was having a doubt in Java. So moment I went there to ask some doubts, the first time when I just took my hand here, the static current really hit him. So it was like,
So, I think we had some issues with our electricity.
Yeah, really.
So it was more of a destiny, and
I think that's our logo now.
so fast forward from there, we have known each other from past 18 years. Preetham is the person who has developed and architected and been part of PayZap, HDFC, and he was the best person to tell things about himself. So myself, I've been primarily techno mechanical salesperson. And spread over 15 plus years, and that is the history part of it, what we have been doing. But if you look at after close to about 18 plus years, we were not in touch with each other. We were sending wishes and stuff like that. It happened once, just on a casual visit. I had to go meet Preetham. So there, one of his common friend, I also was not aware to him. He had come with an electric two-wheeler. So that's the first time, when we had a chance to experience electric two-wheelers. You can tell the story.
Yeah. I think we tried that scooter. I think we were so happy. See, such a beautiful solution we have, or more economically, or there are a lot of benefits. I think we not have to tell now. I think everyone are aware of what's the benefits of EV. So, but even with that, right, the number of EV bikes on road was too less. So that made us little, or I think that's where our research started. Or I think we were later after the meeting, I think we were discussing, okay, why is this adoptions are not happening, or why are still people? I think we spoke to we were aspiring to buy. So what's bothering others? I think when we deep dive, I think we connected to many people who had bought EV bikes and who are aspiring to buy bikes. We connected with few dealer showrooms and all. We were standing there and talking to the customers who have visited there. I think a lot of things happened. I think we realized that. I think there were a couple of problems. I think that's what the end of the day what we have solved now. So maybe the awareness to buy. The people are not aware of the different solutions. I think they knew one or two brands. I think there are a lot more solutions than what we hear actually. So that awareness is not there, or they are scared of this whole charging or more of range anxiety and all those problems are there. I think we started solving on that problem. I think again, COVID, the whole pause of the world helped us to work on that.
It was more of that period of close to 2 years. That was a blessing in disguise for us actually. That is the time wherein we really ideated and refined our solution on what is that the customer really needs. We were more dwelling into finding that problem which is actually wanting that solution. So rather that was what we were trying to build, and around 2019 or 20 we got the recognition from Bixbilani. We were one of the top 50 contestants of the Bixbilani conquest of the 3,000 plus applications which had won the competition. So
I think it definitely think I'm happy because it boosted us to I think work more towards that. And recently we have received grant from Karnataka startup. And
Yeah.
the whole government's push also towards EV, I think we are happy towards that. I think
Yes,
that's
yes.
definitely needed. It's a need of an hour, we can say.
And I think especially like, not just towards EV, but right now the push towards the battery swapping thing. So I feel that that is again like I really believe in the power that battery swapping has. So I read the entire draft that Niti Aayog released, and some of the facts like really amazed me. So before we go there, I would just like to know from you guys, let's explain one more time that what are you building at Exter? Like for example, I buy a two-wheeler from you. So, like, how is my journey with Exter starting there? And, how can I be, like, for example, till the lifetime of my vehicle, how can I stay with Exter?
So when you're asking about what we are doing at Exter, I would try to explain you from what, as a customer, what is actually preventing you from choosing electric mobility as a prime mode of transit. So what we identified, by talking to multiple customers is like one, the fear of sudden battery drain when they, take the electric vehicle from their house and move away, or house, or the primary source of charging. The fear that what if the battery gets drained, or what will I do at that particular point of time? And second thing is like the recurring cost the person owning an electric vehicle would incur for replacing the battery over a period of time. So if you look at electric two-wheelers has primarily two components. One, the component is the electric motor, and the second component is the battery. So battery itself constitutes to 40% of the cost of the electric two-wheelers. So we are wanting to accelerate that shift in the mindset of the people to choose electric mobility as a prime source of mobility. So what we have done is like we have collaborated with multiple electric two-wheeler manufacturers, and in our portal Exter.in, we would be selling scooters from multi-brand OEMs without battery. So if you come to our portal, you can find, compare and buy two-wheelers without battery, and just subscribe to our battery as a service. So allowing you to offset the cost of ownership. So in and we are also having these batteries would also be backed by our swapping network. So we are we would be setting up about 50 swapping stations in Bangalore to start with in the year one, and we would be scaling up to about 300 swapping stations. So as if you look at it, the swapping station is something that which we ourselves have 100% in-house developed, and it is a 100% made in Bangalore product. So that is what we what we proudly say about, and
Yeah, I think
You
as a
definitely,
customer,
can you hear me now?
I would say you have two benefits there. One, maybe when you have a choice of products. I think you are not limited to a single product. I think you have choice of products to choose from, the bikes to choose from, and then I think these OEMs have approved us to. Subscribe. Put our battery there, and I think you can. We have collaborated with them on that.
So in turn, what has happened is like we have gotten permissions from the OEM to to club our battery with these electric two-wheelers. So the question and fear of what if I use your battery and the warranty gets void, that is totally nullified. So this is how we are trying to offset the total cost of ownership for the person who's aspiring to switch to electric mobility.
Yes.
And being we will make sure that the network is sufficient for you to drive around the cities without fear of draining battery, or maybe losing the charge battery there. Whenever you find your batteries are out of charge, you can find the nearest swapping station. You put your old battery, take the new battery, and drive back. So that's why we say drive unlimited. And I think that's what we are going to enable our customers, or the aspirants.
So, like, firstly, I'd like to say that, like, when you mentioned that in Bangalore, like, you'll be having these swapping stations, like, honestly, I'm so happy to see you guys grow. And we'll be also talking about, like, the way you have grown, because I know the way you've grown. Abhilash shared with me that. But before that, like, because this is one thing, actually, a person asked me this question to ask you guys that, like, when we talk about battery swapping, so some people are very particular, ki they want battery of this particular company. So, like, for example, if I have a vehicle of, say, a brand A, and if I don't find the battery that like that I use generally, and on the swapping station I find something else. So how is that going to work? Because I also know that government has released some guidelines for interoperability. So please explain that term, and please explain that how that swapping is going to happen.
Sure. So here, what we would be doing is the moment a person, buys a scooter from us, or he's having an existing scooter, wherein that person would be wanting to take subscription from us. What we would do is, like, moment he's onboarded, our team would be getting in touch with them. We will homologate that particular two-wheeler to make it compatible with our swapping station in such a way that the warranty of the what the company gives is not being voided. So that is what we would be doing. So we would be taking care from the moment he takes a subscription and the moment till he's able to swap the battery.
So, guys, now, like, tell me, how much fund did you actually raise to start Exter?
we are totally
Oh.
self-funded organization till now.
And we have
Come on,
received a
tell me.
grant. I think that's there. We have received a grant from a Karnataka startup. Otherwise, it's all otherwise it's all self-funded.
Self-funded, and we were very consciously, we had taken this decision to start going to the investors, after a certain threshold is being reached. So I think we are starting off interacting with you.
So, a EV startup that's self-funded and that decided to go to the investors after reaching a certain threshold. Why did you take that decision? And how was the growth like when you were self-funded?
Okay. First, let me answer that particular question of why we took that conscious decision of not going to the VC at
Yep.
the early. VCs are investing their money, their hard-earned money. So we really wanted to value add to that particular investment that is actually coming in. So we didn't want
Yes.
their money to be burnt, because they were also startup like us. So that is a whole reason and drive behind why with which we didn't want to go to the VCs at a very early stage. So we solved the toughest part of the problem. One is that swapping station and finding that repeatable, scalable business model for the VCs, wherein we would be starting to make money. And we are just rolling out our first sale in the coming weeks. It should be like this month itself we will be starting to start selling, and we would be starting to generate revenue. So that is where we stand right now.
And on the second
So,
question,
also, yeah, go on.
yeah, I think the second question you had was like, how was the phase in this self-funded? I think,
Yes.
I think we are happy and satisfied with that. I would say. I think, see, if you look back, I think we started working on the swapping from last 1.5 years or 2 years. So, what is the need, or like how what would be the better for the EV ecosystem? I think we had been working on from a long
Yeah.
time. So now I think we are happy that like even government is reiterating the same word, saying that okay, swapping or more of interoperability and all those things, right? I think that's really. I think we are happy and satisfied.
I think we are very happy that the conviction that we gained by talking to multiple customers on what the problem is, that actually gave us the confidence to develop a solution for the problem. So that is what motivated us. In fact, we registered our company on 26th of October 2020, but we were previously to that itself, we were working close to about 1.5 years ago, ideating on what is the solution that can add value to the customer. For what the whole notion with which we work is if we are taking 1 rupee from the customer, we should be able to give a value which is equal to 10 rupees. So that is the whole idea in which we started working right right from the day one, and that has been the culture which me and Preetham has been sharing, and that will be the thing which will actually automatically flow down to our the coming the next step of
It's not just valuation, it's also value we wanted
Yes.
to add.
So it is more about we wanted to create that value, not the valuation part of it. So
And value for both, like the investors as well as the consumers. Like this is something like which I have always been hearing that, like Shweta, you should raise funds. I have even had some investors coming in and saying we want to invest in Climapreneur. But like this was one thing I was clear from day one, the day I would know that where even 1 rupee of that investor goes and it gains him value, at that is the point when I'm going to raise value for my startup. Because otherwise, like it didn't make sense to me. But like what you guys have done is incredibly amazing. And also, like somewhere I understand the process of creation is difficult. The process of creating something is difficult from inside too. Today you guys are sitting here with all the confidence in the world talking to me. Maybe after this podcast you would have something to go back to and to troubleshoot. But I want to know exactly from you that जब ये सब कुछ भी नहीं हुआ था, जब पता भी नहीं था कि यार एक्स्टर बनेगा नहीं पता था कि बिट्स पिलानी है all of that आएगा नहीं आएगा, उस टाइम पे how did you guys move from day 1 to day 2 to day 3 to day 4 to day 100? So give me that time frame.
I think one thing I always believe that, like, see, while our intentions are genuine or our efforts are genuine there, right? I think everything follows up. I think I would say it was not hard. I think if you are assuming that it would have been a very tough time, I think it was not. In fact, I felt that like everyone around us were too supportive, and I think we have enough mentors. I think we have a very strong
yeah. In the sense, support. I think we are confidently sitting here not because we are two supermen sitting here. No, it is bunch of people who have helped us to be here.
And I would say it's a very beautiful world, or more of like very corporate, very helpful.
We feel like it is a bad world out there with clutches but no, actually people are good. They are open to help.
And be it the OEMs who have been collaborated with us today, or the customers who have spoken, and they were so open, and I think maybe that could have happened because we were really open and genuine. I think we didn't want to see from the day one. Our intention was to not to loot them or more of add value to their life or more of the cause. I think that boosted us. I think it was not a tough job; it was an easy job, and I think the tough job starts now.
Yeah, and one more takeaway I would like to add is when you have a very truthful cause for which you are working on, your actions become very truthful. Being truthful and focused on the problem that you are wanting to solve, and be answerable to yourself. That is what we would
And I remember someone asking us some questions like, how will you make sure that like the whole culture or the company culture or the whole what we are going to build further, how are you going to take care of that? I felt we will not have to be fake there. Right? I will not want to make all our colleagues or employees work hard, or I think definitely everyone will work hard. I'm saying they work like
they should not. We don't want to. We should not be exploiting them.
Yeah, not exploit them for.
They should be motivated to do something.
Yeah, not exploit from them 28 days and then do 2 days like more of a happy activities. It's not that way. Every day, I think when we go back to our home, right? I think we should be satisfied with our contribution. I think that's where.
Yes.
Instead of faking, I think the faking that whole culture concept. I think if we are genuine in our whole thought process or more of the treatment to the colleagues, I think that is sufficient. That's where we're going to hold the whole energy or culture together.
Yeah.
I would also add to that because you mentioned this thing now that if you're truthful to your cause, if you're just true to what you want to do, I think वो feeling भी बहुत होती है. Like if any challenge, if anything comes your way, it does not seem like कुछ बहुत बड़ा has strike you because your intention is clear and your intention and your willpower is bigger than anything else. True. So you're always ready to troubleshoot that challenge. So having said that, now I would like to ask you a few questions about the battery swapping ecosystem. So firstly, tell me that how do you think the battery swapping system is going to revolutionize or is going to boost India's EV ecosystem?
Okay. Okay. This particular answer, I would like to answer it through a question to you. Okay. So, are you ready for the question? This is a rapid round question. I was just joking. So have you heard of any electric cars catching on fire lately?
Like electric cars.
Maybe from a Tata, very less, right?
I have heard like of Tesla, like I have read in some news somewhere.
Yeah.
I've like if Tesla counts, and I've heard about
Yeah,
it.
and the events, the event of catching fire, when compared to the quantity of two-wheelers that were burnt in that short span of time, when you compare it with what Tesla was burnt or maybe any other Indian brand cars have burnt, the number is very less.
Yes.
The basic underlying problem is primarily because the cells which goes into these battery packs, which goes into the two-wheeler battery packs are not the first quality one which were generally used. It is primarily like they try to cut the corners where the cells have not gone to the proper cell balancing cycles or the testing cycle. So it is that particular reason, some person there had wanted to make, a quick buck, so some corner cutting has happened, and they had gone in for a low quality cell. So that's the primary reason. If you look at the common cause which has actually led to the fire, but there are also other added causes like there could be some external wire short circuiting that has happened.
Yeah.
Those kind of inevitable reasons are also there, but we have found a solution wherein we would be able to gain a better safety on our services that we are providing to the customers.
And I would want to say, add to that, see, as a solution, right? Swapping would be always better for this type of, like maybe to avoid this type of incidents for a couple of reasons. One, see, the awareness of how to maintain the batteries or the whole challenges you have to go through there, right? I think that is reduced. I mean, we are taking that hassle for. I mean, we will be taking that whole hurdle of maintaining the maintenance of the batteries, right? I think that will be on the swapping partners or the swapping providers here, like Exter, I would say. So by that, see, we will. There are many. See, I think the way how you charge your batteries, and when you charge, maybe when it will degrade the battery so fast. So when it's degraded, I think it's prone to all this fire accidents and all. So when the batteries are there in swapping stations or swapping network, right? We make sure that when we dispatch a battery to a customer for consumptions, we make sure the state of health of the battery is in a state to be consumed. So that will be monitored. So hence it's always better. I would say that for the EV users, it's always better to switch towards swapping because the whole hassle of maintaining these batteries, I think leave it to the swapping partners. So we will be make sure as per the policies also. I think there are a lot of good elements like state of health or monitoring the battery health that will make sure that I think whatever is getting dispatched is a better state batteries. So accidents would be less in that case. I would say.
Yeah, and there is also I was going through a report wherein by 2030 you can expect at least 700 metric tons of second life batteries that is actually coming into the market actually. Batteries which so what we have done is we have already collaborated with a few players who would actually take this battery and recycle it, and from which the lithium would be extracted. So we have taken care in full circle, right from the time it is coming into the system, and we are at least 5-6 years away from that, but we have already spoken to them and understood the viability and other possibilities that can be included into the whole system.
Leaving the batteries in the customer hand, the chances are there that they will have to worry about where to discard that, how to recycle that. I think that awareness or this whole, I think that is something where swapping solutions will help or fix that problem.
Yeah.
Whenever we are talking about the battery swapping systems, we generally talk about two-wheelers and three-wheelers. So, what will it take for the swapping system to come into four-wheelers?
Yeah. So, with reference to the four-wheeler side of it, one thing that can actually, speed up this faster adoption of swapping is batteries with higher energy density. That is the energy holding capacity for the unit volume when that particular thing increases. And when people service providers like us have a deep integration with the manufacturer right from the time the cars are being designed. So these kind of that it has to both the players like us and the OEMs have to work hand in hand for four wheelers also, so that swapping can be provided and facilitated for these kind of.
Yeah, and another thing, I think he mentioned that when the vehicle is being designed, I think it can't be that like you have a model now and I think you retrofit it to the EV. I think that will delay definitely a lot in the swapping. For the EV four wheeler, right? I think mostly that's the cost today. I think the model or the whole from the ground from the scratch, if they are doing this EV system or the EV vehicle, right, or the electric vehicle four wheeler, that would be the better way. I think that will make the swapping. I think at that stage itself, it is better to be thought, not after effect. I think what's happening today is
this particular thing. I think it is solved. When right from the time a vehicle is being ideated, people like us have to start working with OEMs. In fact, we are also working with very closely with few two-wheeler startups where they are trying to take our battery swapping as a service and combine it with their product right at the design stage itself.
Yeah.
So that is what we are doing right now.
I think any EV or two-wheeler or three-wheeler, I think it should be starting from the design phase itself. I think, say, example, there are few two-wheeler today who purposely from the day one of their design, they made it more of non-swappable or non-detachable batteries. So definitely we can't support swappable. So there are some EV bikes where from the day one they have chose to make it swappable. I think I think it should start with that whole intention to make the vehicle swappable. I think that's what I see. And maybe from what I feel is that the thing what's happening in EV will definitely guide the whole EV industry there. It will. I think the experiment will happen. The swapping experiment will happen in this two-wheeler, and then I think it will go on to the four-wheelers. I feel.
Okay, so I would also like to ask, know from you here, when you say that you're providing battery as a service to other operators, so do you manufacture batteries? How do you do that at Exter?
We are eventually going to start off manufacturing the batteries, but as of now we have collaborated with people who are manufacturing batteries on the spec that we give, the spec that is actually which is matching with the two-wheelers OEM's given spec. So as of now we are doing that, but in the long run we are looking forward and we are working towards setting up our own battery assembly unit in Bangalore.
I was saying that the safety and the comfort would be
because we want to give the utmost priority for safety. So we don't. It's okay for us to go slow, but we want to do it right. We don't want to have that first mover advantage. We are not desperately looking for having that first mover advantage. We want to have the best mover advantage. So that is what we are looking for.
I think that's the way to go. Like they say, measure twice but cut once. So definitely, I think you're doing a great job there. Also, do you have any recommendations for the government, any policies? Maybe you feel that, if you would have got this from the government, your journey or whatever you're doing could be accelerated. Or any suggestions that you have for the government, specifically in the EV and the two-wheeler space?
I think that's a very good move. What we have, the whole battery swapping policy, what we're having, that's a very good move. But there are a couple of, I think the suggestions I think I have given that or added in the feedback what we have got from in the draft. So one would be there should be some subsidies also given to the swapping partners today. I think that's not really called out. I think that subsidy for the swapping partners should be there. And second, see the I think on the battery, I think there should be some enough regulations to make sure that the safety of that, or when I say safety, the theft part of that, I think those things also have to be looked at.
So we are
apart
trying-
from what I think they have added most of the things. I think that's really nice. I think this too. I think the theft part, I think making it more of very criminal, or I mean, I'm not sure. I think what is that to call it? So
the laws, we are looking forward for the laws to be more stringent on any people who are, trying to do an anti-social act of, trying to take these batteries and, use it for, whatever, criminal activities which they want to do it with. So we want that kind of strict laws to help and empower swapping service providers like us. So, wherein our property was also taken care, and we are also able to add more and more tech, which is going to value add into the whole system. So, when tech goes in, the cost of per battery also goes in. So, if the government is supporting in that lines, it would be a really a very good boost for providers like us.
Definitely. Also, I would like to know this from you that since you guys started as a self-funded EV startup, so there are people out there who might have ideas but who often think यार ये startup अगर करना है EV के space में तो मुझे बहुत सारा fund चाहिए. But I want to know from you guys कि अगर किसी के पास limited funds हैं और उसे EV में start करना है, so how should he dedicate his or her funds, and how should that person come into this space? Where should he or she put most of her funds in? And also maybe I don't know if it's feasible for you guys, if you can give us a number that with how much did you start?
Okay.
It's okay if you don't want to, that's okay.
I'll take the first part. So the suggestion would be that whoever is starting the or wanted to get into this EV space, it's not that you have a solution and then you find a problem. So that's going to be very expensive, because you will have to change the mindset, or habit change should be done now. That may not be the right time now. So what I would say is that if you have really recognized this solution, I mean, understand the problem first. I think that's what we did. I think that is going to be talking to people. I think we not have to pay. That's a simple part, right? I think talk to people, understand the problem very on ground level, and try to build a solution around that. So that will, I think next, I think once you understand the problem, right, and I think it's there, like we said earlier, there are a lot of good colleges or mentors around there. I think maybe we can, if anyone wants any help from us, I think please do reach out to us. So there are good people around, so they will definitely add you or guide you there. Or if not able to help themselves, I think they will connect you somewhere with someone else. So with that, right, the solution building will, let's build it together instead of thinking that, okay, this is my IP, I will try to build on my own, let me make money out of this. I think that's where it can delay the whole, or it can become more costly. So if you want to do it alone, it's going to be costly. If you club together with multiple people, see again, our solution, before the draft came also, right? I think we had collaborations of binding to one single OEM. We collaborated with multiple OEMs, and then so we support. I mean, it's like in a collaboration. So okay, you have a bike, so I have my solution. Let's solve this problem together. I think that's how I would say. I think don't work in silos. So let's work together. This is a common problem. We all have to solve now. So it's for our better. I think we should work together. And any of you have any, if you need any help, I think please reach out to us.
Any startups, which is EV startups specifically, wherein we can be of help.
With our limited experience.
Limited experience. Quote unquote, limited experience. We would like to. We are open to help them. And one small suggestion is to the startups or anybody who is aspiring to take up the startup journey, find a target customer and understand what is the toughest part of the problem they are facing. and try finding a solution for that particular toughest problem. So what happens is like you are building a solution to fit into a problem, rather than building a solution already built and finding a problem which will, which will fit that solution for. So that thing, if people are keeping in mind, that would be one of the biggest winning part of it. And second thing is like give more value to the customer, in the sense like
Yes.
see, if you are charging your customer 10 rupees, give them a value of at least 100 rupees. So that should be the yardstick which you should measure yourself.
Mm.
So that is what we are doing, and that is it is the practice. That is what we are practicing. This is what we would like to share it to the world. There are much more better experienced people than us. Just sharing our experience. Yeah.
No, definitely. Guys, you have built something with a very strong foundation and with a very right intention and with the very, right steps. So, I would not say that you have limited experience, but, you have made the right foundations for that.
Yeah. One thing that we
Yeah.
we as a company would like to do is everybody in the present generations to come. We should be mindful on choosing our actions which can try to heal earth in the coming days. So the coming generations should sow in an mindful thought within themselves to create a better tomorrow. We as a company, we are working for creating a better society for the coming generations to come, which a society which is having slightly better cleaner air, slightly better purer water to drink, a society which is slightly better for the coming generations to come. So we all should mindfully work to start healing earth.
And we are not so old that we are working for our next generation. I think so.
Shweta, as we said, we as a company, we are we want to drive that particular message to the people
Yeah.
by telling let us all make that choice mindfully, so that we are creating a better planet for we, as we said, the famous quote goes, there is only one planet Earth, there is no planet B. So let us all mindfully make that decision, conscious decision, to heal Earth every day possible. So we at Exter, we are doing our bit to exit pollution and enter healing Earth. That is what we are doing. So please do help us, spreading this journey, what we are doing, and motivate more people to heal Earth. And what you're doing at Climapreneur, amazing. Thanks for building this particular platform, which is going to
And I think
create that change.
Thank you. And I think what you are doing today, I think there are many such products which we are, while these intentions are there, or more of we have love towards that with Mother Earth or nature. So, but awareness, I think you are trying to build the awareness of what's available for people who want to contribute in this cause. I think that's really amazing work. So happy to be part of your show, or thanks there. And yes, in fact, I have gone through a couple of your podcasts, and I think I have ordered those products. I think happy.
Really? Thank you.
Thank you there.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity once again, Shweta. And last but not the least, as Abdul Kalam used to always quote, that you cannot change the future. Only thing that you can change is your habit. So try building a habit that is going to heal Earth from tomorrow. So
Yes.
again, so an action to
Well
reap a
said,
habit.
and thank you. Thank you for your
reap a
kind
habit
words,
to-
and thank you
yeah,
for
yeah.
being here. I'm excited to see Exter in Delhi.
Yes.
When Exter comes to Delhi, probably I'll learn to ride a two-wheeler.
Oh. Okay.
And we are very happy to host you in Bangalore. Please do drop it to our office, and we would like to share you, take you to our experience center where you can experience our battery swapping equipment. Keen to host
Soon.
you. Welcome to Bangalore in advance.
soon. So thank you guys. Thank you for being here, and thank you for doing the amazing work you're doing. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.